Burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live. It's going down, baby. Burning through ashes, trying to make common sense.
Burn live, man. Burn through some conversation, trying to ask out some common sense. Or goodnight, kapeash. Nightmare stories before you take your ass to bed over politics, pop culture, or something. That's what I'm kind of working on. Nightmare stories, something. Um, I kind of like what Money Demon said, so I'm kind of going under that, kind of be a little funny, be a little goofy with this show. Stop being so uptight, especially on a good night show. When I do the TikToks in the morning, which is broadcast live on here too, I'm super just comedian over there, even though they might not be funny, but that's all what I'm trying to do.
I don't mind that for like the late night show anyway. Make it a little less serious.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Who's Snoop Dogg? Me?
You ain't talking about me, homie.
Hey man, what if Snoop Dogg was really? I'm just saying. What if the Snoop Dogg that we known for all these years is not the real Snoop Dogg? That'll be one hell of a. I don't know. I don't know how I will feel about that. Because they just somebody, good story, good reporting. I'm talking about some good reporting. Somebody like, hey, you're not Snoop Dogg. This is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was born in 1972 in Idaho and stuff like that. He didn't have that much, and first thing he sipped on as a high school was some gin and juice while he was corn picking. Am I going too far? Y'all, this is the Good Night Show. Man, this is the show where you can go as far as we want to go. Do you remember Nate's Garden? Trendy Dabber? Do that sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
He was on here the other day. Money Demon got to meet him. I was shocked. I was so shocked to have him on here. I was appreciative of him coming on here. Y'all, please like, follow, and share, and do all them good YouTube and Facebook things. Do I even got that downloaded? No, I don't. Ooh, when I say I really got to re-download everything all over again, I got to do everything.
Everything.
Everything. Which, it is what it is.
Look, I was at a point where I couldn't keep up with everything. I almost like hired a specific person for each platform. I almost hired one person to do my clips, comments, and like replies on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all that because I couldn't keep up. It was like 50 some people at a time and they were rotating in and out and like talking to people with live chat was one thing, but going into other stuff and commenting and stuff while I was already streaming regularly every day was really hard.
Yeah. Like right now, I don't have everything up and running, everything on at the moment, because I really don't want to be, I know me, because, we be over here clicking away, click, 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 click.
Yeah.
So I really try not to do that because, man, I just want to kind of relax and chill.
Heard that.
Well, I kind of want to work on this project. I can't believe 3 hours went that fast.
Yeah, when you staying busy, they do. They go by quick, boy.
I was working on this project too.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I got a cheap little stand. I really got it for TikTok because I go on my tablet on my TikTok and we go for 3 hours, 3 from 6 to 9 Eastern, 3 to 6 Pacific. Y'all go check us out. My tablet can go 3 hours, but then at the last little hour, the last few minutes, I'll be on like 10%. And being on 10% that last little minute, I'm like, shit, if I could just, got me a little stand or something, I can keep it charged. Like now, everything's around me to stay on the charger. Like I'm not playing. I be in the house. I don't use my house phone. Got enough, you got enough devices.
Easily. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got some Android stuff around here. I got an Android tablet, Android phone, which both of that shit, I don't know where they at. They probably in my room. And then if anybody truly know me, y'all know I'm an Apple fanatic. Apple fanatic. If Larry Bird was what? If Larry Bird was in his prime versus LeBron James, who would win? I'm gonna have to go with Bird. You got a person that shot over 50% from all over the court. I think LeBron is like 46% shooter and like 30-some% shooter from 3-point range. So I would have to get that to Bird. And Bird was busting double teams. There's too many highlights and shows where they showing that he busting 2 people at the same time. So yeah. That's a good question. Now, I would answer Doc, I would answer questions if they're decent and chilling.
If you're thinking Larry Bird versus LeBron, like legitimately, and both in their prime, I would say Larry every time.
You would say LeBron?
No, I'd say Larry. I'd say Larry every time.
Larry? Yeah.
I mean,
now
there's so many factors that go into that, but like the biggest one that I would like call out is look at the game and how it's played now versus the game and how it was played then. It was so much harder back then. Like they let you damn near take somebody's arm off at times. Like they knew there was rivalries. They let people get a little bit more physical back in the day. Now they call fouls on any and every little thing. So that alone right there, just like
but people, I like when people bring that up, but I like this argument when people always leave out that Larry Bird era was still the beginning of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know you know MJ, but when people put certain arguments together and are discussing, I know for a fact they don't think about, okay, which era are we talking about? Because are we talking about the era where the NBA and the I forgot the other league where they combined? Because that's where, you know what I'm saying, Larry Bird and Magic kind of came together. Or we're gonna talk about the era before the NBA where most people wasn't even watching the NBA, they were watching a whole nother basketball league. So it's just like there was at a time there was a league that was way better than the NBA.
I was just talking about like both of them
I know
in
you,
their primes. Yeah, like
yeah,
I know that's how like you're saying it. I was just talking strictly like both of them in their primes and how the games played in their primes at the time. If you like, it's not even the same game. You know what I mean? It's almost like a completely different
yeah,
game.
yeah. I'm sorry. In the pride part, it goes to. I would just look at the shooting percentage. Like I said, shooting percentage. Just it's one sided right there.
Yeah, Bird was dude. He was a he was a monster.
You know what? I am just gonna have to start strolling a little bit and see what's going on. Hey, that dude with the in Florida over NFL game,
Yeah.
I like no, bro. Nice excuse to say over the NFL game, but I don't know. That's just no. It was other things beside that that had something to do with that, homie. I just can't believe
There's
over
alternative.
NFL
There's
game. Yeah,
alternative motives. There's no way in hell that like it was just over a game and her asking to change the channel. 100% like they
especially
had other problems.
right, especially because I do remember just right offhand because the letter. I was like, oh man, hold on, it was a whole letter, which which I didn't get to put my 2 cents on. You're right about finding out about the ink. You can just go get an ink master and ink dries up, and you know what I'm saying, you can tell how long something is just by the ink dry.
Sir, sure can.
Looked like a plane caught on fire yesterday. No, a rechargeable battery caught on fire on a plane. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, see stuff like that. Now you ain't able to take batteries, bro. They're gonna be restricting so much stuff. You're gonna be barely able to catch. You're gonna be barely be able to wear your clothes on the plane. You're gonna have to mail your clothes off and pick it up there. Uh, That's the one question that leave. I think everybody using Christmas Miracle because I'm looking at Fox News, bro, and it says Christmas Miracle GOP Senator says Trump has delivered it. where is where is our boy at? Because he would be hysteric over there. I can't believe they put that.
I mean, they're gonna use whatever they think is gonna catch attention.
Right, right.
Right or wrong, doesn't matter. They're gonna use what they're gonna use.
That's what I'm starting to see a little bit. It almost don't matter. I feel like when I'm on here with you, MJ, I feel like I just want to go into like debates. Other people debate and just talk about them.
Right. No. I get you.
I got this one debate in mind. I just don't know who should I go to. I haven't watched a lot of I don't know. You know what? I really wouldn't call Piers Morgan a debate show no more.
Right.
At first I would. I wouldn't care. I kind of would, would have like whatever.
Have a good night.
That's the name of the show. Ooh. What's his name? Fugazi?
No Fugazi.
You don't know who Fugazi is, or you do?
No Fugazi.
What? Yeah.
Yes.
No Fugazi. I had to hear clearly what you said. You like no Fugazi. Like don't just say Fugazi, bitch. Say no. Okay. I got you. My bad.
I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. I didn't want to tell you like, yes, and then you go search up something different, and then my ass is looking stupid. And you're like, bro, you told me to look that one up.
I was seeing his stuff back in the day, but I wasn't really on it until he started talking about other things. Like he got outside of just talking to women. Because when he was talking to females, I was like, okay, I don't know. That ain't got shit to do with me.
Yeah. There's like a lot of like teaching men to avoid certain things when it comes to women, because there's certain signs that show that they'll lack accountability and cause more of a war than bring you peace.
Yeah. This one right here is more for Johnny after his heart. When you get to hear him more, I can't wait to, when you get the feel of you'll see what I'm saying. But even watching this, I think you will get an understanding. This is one of those I consider.
Okay, so I actually know Alex Wilson, or not Alex, Andrew Wilson.
Andrew.
Then you got what's his name up at the top left? That's Fugazi, right?
Right.
Then you got, I don't know who the bottom two at the bottom are though.
Okay. I didn't recognize these guys at all, but after I seen them on here, then I seen them on other people's clips. So they go viral by talking about they're Israelites for one. And one argument, I know I'm not at it. I wish I was right at that argument that they was having, because I think it was a good argument and it would be good for us to go over it. But one of the arguments was that they're Israelites and Israelites are the only people that's going to get to heaven. And then it turned in not the fact that they're not going to be the only one to get to heaven, but they're going to have a hierarchy when they do get to heaven. They're going to be at a higher standard because of what's in the Bible. And then and Andrew is going to like, okay, so saying, how do y'all know that? But Fugazi's argument is, how do y'all know that if it's not by race? Because yet again, only way y'all can figure that out is by race. And then his follow-up question was something like, is God racist? And they was like, yeah. And I was like, what the hell? So I got it right here, right in the middle of Fugazi's finna talk. I really don't know where it's at. I don't watch this a couple of times, but I just want you to get a feel of this because this is why I don't know. I just want to see how this goes.
That's what it means because you believe that God is a racist or has.
MJ, Doc, sorry. Did I start it at the right spot or not? I gave you the smallest scenario. Start at the right spot. So let me go back. Pick it up. Let's go.
This is what I'm saying. With your ideology, it makes it justifiable for the 400 years of slavery that all of the Europeans put the black people in. That's what it means because you believe that God is a racist or has racist ideologies. So therefore, guess what? The colonizers that colonized all the black people and brought them over to America, they can have it justifiable. Like, well, in the Bible, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, so I have superiority. I have a hierarchy over everyone else. So it's justifiable for me to enslave y'all niggas. This is your ideology. Basically, I refute it. You can't refute it. Both of y'all been sitting here and it's been 4 of you. You can't refute your racist ideology. It leads people astray. Now you're both unmuted. Debunk me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are ignorantly wrong.
Okay.
I asked you if the slave master and the slave have the same right to heaven, yes or no, and you wouldn't answer the question.
Bro, you're not muted.
Hello. Okay, so hold on.
Hold up. Let me answer his question real quick. Go ahead and
I have to
Gorilla.
get this because no, you just came at me.
Let me unmute you real quick. Let me mute you real quick. Go ahead and state your. No, I'm gonna answer your question.
I'm gonna yield. No, I'm gonna yield to
you. Gonna yield this to Gorilla? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can go.
Go ahead, Gorilla. Go ahead.
So let's just read the book of Revelation 2:26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. That word for nations in the Greek is ethnos, and that word ethnos is the etymological origin of the word ethnicity. I will give power over the ethnicities, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, hierarchy. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my father. So right there is discrimination and ethnic hierarchy coming out of the mouth of Jesus as he's talking about his future kingdom. So we never said we weren't racist or that God didn't have racist ideologies. We said it's not the same as what happened to us. Nice attempt at appeal to emotion.
Wrong. No one's appealing to no emotion. Romans 2:29. But Romans 2:29. But a Jew is one inwardly, and circumcision is a matter of the heart by the spirit, not by the letter. His praise is not from man, but from God. Bro, we can go verse for verse all day long. But at the end of the day, thinking about things logically. Listen, bro.
Every time I hear them talk about explaining through text that they had to list that you would have to know and understand and dissect from a T. It just amazes me that what his argument is that they don't debunk it. They don't say no, we're not. They not yet one time ever say no, God is not racist. And that's what he called. And when he called them out on it, I was like, okay, cool. He called you out on it. And then they didn't debunk. That's what blew my mind. That's where I was just like, So do all of y'all think like that? All of y'all had this ideology, thought process, thought pattern? So they represent, these guys represent them hard.
Right.
They represent them hard. Going viral, putting up, you know what I'm saying, streaming and all types of stuff. That's what I be meaning by representing hard. I don't know, man. I know everybody gets a little sketchy, little scary, little offensive when it comes to topics like that. But I just be, man, I just be listening. And if the ears don't sound right, that don't sound right. It just sometimes don't sound right. What's up with all these fights in sports, bro? What the hell? Every
screener.
almost every bowl game that had a fight in it. Now I'm just looking at the highlights. Well, not the highlights. I'm just reading the title. Josh and Mark throw punches during the fight and get ejected. Suns and Pelicans basketball game.
Jesus. Go for the throat. Shit.
It's like, man, what is y'all fighting for, man? What is y'all trying to do? Oh, hold on.
Y'all get paid to do it. You get paid to do a game. Why are we fighting? Go do MMA if you want to get paid to fight.
I mean, fighting is a real necessary. That's what I want to say. Fighting is really necessary. If it ain't necessary, y'all just fighting just because.
Fighting's never, fighting's a necessity sometimes. But like, you should be able to de-escalate situations. That way, you only fight when you have to.
Have you ever heard Roma Army?
Yeah, Roma Army. It's a girl that does advocates for men's rights.
Now, I'm just gonna bring this up. I'm not gonna play it. This one right here, I would expect to be a good one.
Yeah,
I would expect to be a good debate, huh? This was a month ago. I just want to hear a little bit, just to see if I'm right or wrong. I expect this one to be good for people to hear.
The reason Islam makes worse societies is lower. 85 to 100 would be skilled labor administrative support, 100 to 115 professional middle management, 115 to 130 engineers, scientists, doctors, specialized roles, the things they desperately need that they get from us. 130 plus innovation, leadership, high level problem solving. Next slide, please. Inbreeding itself over generations causes massively compounds that lead to negative consequences. And you can see the risk curve there. You see how the genetic defects increase every single generation. Moving over, I just want to point this out on the last slide. Islam took an ethnic people that were at the heart of being the top of civilization. And through generations of Islam and inbreeding has turned them into the lowest IQ, some of the stupidest people on planet Earth. Literally. You think I'm being mean? I'm not. They're literally some of the stupidest people on planet Earth. Everywhere Islam goes, inbreeding increases and societies become worse. Where Christianity goes, inbreeding decreases, so societies do better in almost every material way. Let's just point out here, as I wrap this up. 1 second. So it's clear here that my argument summarized, though this isn't its entirety, is that Islam creates huge societies with large swaths of people with IQs so collectively low, they would be considered developmentally challenged, borderline retarded here in the West. Not kidding. Due to this side effect, force doctrine becomes the order of the day. Because the technological difference in capabilities of each people group is so vastly different, think Apollo mission compared to Starship Enterprise, Islam must literally bank on the benevolence of Christians to not wipe them off the face of planet Earth. They are basically, the feminists of the East, totally reliant on the goodwill and benevolence of global Christianity, not to just not exterminate them. Okay? And take their resources, always appealing to the mightier force for their existence and the benevolence of that very people group who Daniel today is arguing doesn't make better societies, which is a laughable proposition. Even absent the degeneracy of a people group must be able to competently defend itself or bank on the benevolence of the people group, which can. And almost everybody's going to prefer the society that can. Imagine the irony here of arguing against the very Christians you find inadequate morally, yet bank on their moral benevolence to not wipe your low IQ fucking asses off the face of planet Earth. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that opening as well. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to our friends at Maine First Project for sponsoring DebateCon 6, as they also believe in the values of free speech and fair debate. Maine First Project is fighting for conservatism in New England and beyond. So check out their link in the description box below. We are going to jump into the 5-minute rebuttals. Just a quick reminder, folks, please be sure your phones are on silent, and also please do refrain from recording or streaming any footage other than if it's TikTok length, that's fine. But we're going to kick it into 5-minute rebuttals. First with Daniel.
TikTok length is like 30 seconds.
The floor is all yours.
So this falls exactly into what I predicted. You argued like a libtard. This falls into exactly what I predicted. You argued like a libtard. How? You're saying that success is on the basis of IQ. Well, how are you going to argue tomorrow when you debate with an atheist that Christian IQ is higher than secular atheist IQ? In fact, the atheist IQ is much higher than Christian IQ. So your entire standard for judging Islam applies just as much to Christianity. And tomorrow when you're debating the atheist, you'll have to concede that your Christian religion is associated or correlated with lower IQ. Therefore, atheism or secularism is better for society because it raises IQ. So that's one point. Point number two, where in the Bible does it restrict cousin marriage? This, as you acknowledged, is a later papal decree. It was not a part of Jesus's teachings. Jesus didn't come out and say, hey, if you want to have a successful society.
In the audience, I do want to ask you to keep it down so we can hear the speaker.
Jesus didn't say, oh, hey, if you want success and you want to have a prosperous society, you shouldn't marry your cousin. Jesus never had this apparently essential Christian teaching that is the key to success on earth. That's your whole argument against Islam, and it's found nowhere in Jesus's teachings. It's found nowhere in the early church fathers' teachings. This is something that came later. And also, when it was decreed that cousin marriage is considered to be incest, it wasn't on the basis of IQ. This is something that you have adopted from who? From atheists, from secularists, from those who are doing secular science to discover these medical problems or IQ levels. So your entire standard for judging Islam is not a Christian standard. It's not a biblical standard. It's not an Orthodox church standard. This is coming only from atheists, from atheistic science. Second of all, if IQ is such end-all be-all, Christian societies, if you bring up a country list of countries by IQ, many Christian countries are on the bottom there. I don't know if you consider them to be true Christians because they're not white, but they're also at 80 IQ, 70 IQ. Look at Sub-Saharan Africa, look at Latin America, look at the Philippines. It's also comparable with Muslim countries. Do you consider them to be Christians or not? Also, go back to the Middle Ages. IQ was much.
I would pick some slum countries. Well, I understand. I'm just trying to pick Christian countries.
Lower in the Middle Ages in Christian societies.
I mean, what is he gonna do?
Go ahead.
Andrew's whole argument, which is a sound argument. When converted to Christianity, the IQ does raise, but that's because, obvious, restrictions in Christianity that aren't given elsewhere. There's certain, diets that are restricted, limiting nutrients from other, religions, things like that. Sorry, I took a dab. I'm still dying. Oh, you can go ahead and play it.
I got dabs up in mine, so I will be slow talking online. I'm killer out there. Man, I got one more part to do, and I'm gonna be done with this doggone thing. I hope to get done. It'd be nice to get done to load it up at the end. But it was just interesting. It's gonna be hard. And I guess this is what I want to point out for this segment right here. It's definitely hard to argue or debate somebody when they got graphics and charts, and you just reading off the top of your dome, and you have to go through a whole list of what somebody said, and you're trying to go back and remember everything. Like, he said this, he said that, he said this, he said that, and bring up all them topics and try to hit them with the most valid point to debunk what a person's saying. That's hard to do. That's real hard to do. And Andrew definitely set him up for that. Like, look at her. I'm just going to hit you with a ton of information, plus show you a chart, show the audience a chart, and here you try to come back to that. And that's gonna be hard to do. That's just hard to do.
I gotta run to the bathroom
because it's like he's looking around for validation for somebody so he can feed into what he needs to feed into, instead of hitting a person with facts that is facts. I see that too when it comes to debates, when a person is talking and you be like, okay, I just need you to try to get somebody to validate my argument, because yet again, I'm probably not good at arguing, but yet again, if I make one person kind of and get that little nod, you get that little nod, you be like, yeah, man, what's up? So that's what you kind of be looking for. That's what you really want to do. And hopefully he can come back. I'm gonna play this a little bit further and see how he does.
Why that has changed is because of the Flynn effect. IQ has increased globally across the world because of the Flynn effect. So if you have a problem, again, with lower IQ, look at medieval or middle-age Christian societies. And also, here's another big problem. IQ is also linked with race. So if you want to prioritize high IQ, you should discourage interbreeding between races. Why should higher average IQ from Asians or whites or Jews or whatever race that has a higher average IQ? Christianity encourages or allows interbreeding between the races. That will result in a lower IQ. So you should be against that, because that's going to, over time, lower the average IQ of society. So that should be something that you need to oppose to be consistent. Interracial marriage or interracial breeding should be contrary to your point, or contrary to your position. Also, yeah, I mean, I'm just shocked that your entire argument about why Christianity is better than Islam is a cousin marriage argument. That's like shocking, because it just works so far against you.
See, right?
If IQ is the end all be all,
right there, you see how he stuttered because he ran out of the list that he was trying to remember. It's hard to remember lists. And I used to thought that I could do it. And when I realized that I can't, that's why I try my best to stop a person. I may let you go through the list once, but especially if you're going to, because everybody does this almost, if they go through their list a second time, I'm going to stop you and we're going to chop that list down. So therefore, you have time to rebuttal and talk back on a debate. I don't know why. Well, some people are good at it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. There are people out there that's good at remembering a good list and able to rebuttal back. Few, not a lot. And anybody that sits and have, you don't even let a person hit you with a bunch of numbers in sports. As soon as you hear something you don't like, right there, no. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is more respectful so everybody can hear in the audience and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to read my boy's body language of the little insecurity that you do see, because he like, I know I'm speaking it, but I don't think that I'm reaching the people. And I'll go into the second part a little later, what I think about debate these days compared to back in the old days.
Of what makes a society good, then Christianity loses to atheism and secularism. Like, case closed. So like, and many Christian societies are low IQ, as in the same way as certain Muslim countries. The thing about the difference between me and you is my values are based on marriage, family, traditional values of that nature, not atheistic values of IQ and intelligence.
We're going to jump into Andrew's rebuttal as well. The timer is set for you. 5 minutes, Andrew.
Libtard value. Don't fuck your first cousin. Libtard.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names.
Damn.
Let me just point out that Daniel Kikikachu didn't actually rebut.
What you said?
That's a damn. The fucking ads be getting us today.
Listen here. They were like looking, I know what you're doing. You know, you kind of popping over there. You play the ads, you know, we probably let you go. You know, that's what YouTube probably saying. Look, play the ad, we'll let you go. But Drew, hey, don't hit people where it hurt like that. He said, first thing you don't do, fuck your first cousin. Don't do them like that. Don't do them.
That's the funniest part.
Not a single one.
That's the funniest part. He said he was talking like a libtard, but all he was saying was, you shouldn't fuck your first cousin. Most people know that because it causes genetic abnormalities at a crazy level. It's stupid.
My argument was simple, and I'll repeat it here again. The argument is that your society has to rely on the benevolence of mind to exist because of your general IQ. You see, remember how I told you the 70 to 85 is basic jobs, practical skills, routine labor? That's most Muslim societies, sir. Doesn't matter if you point out two exceptions to the rule. Even in those societies in which Christians have a lower IQ, guess what you find? Their interbreeding rates are going down, and when you compare them to the same Arab population where they're inbreeding, that section of the population, the IQ is always lower. So what's my argument here? My argument is that Christian societies are better because they lower inbreeding, which collectively takes your IQ so far down the rabbit trail that you end up having to beg the higher IQ individuals for protection from them. You have to bank on their benevolence. Imagine this guy is banking on the benevolence of Christians who have a high enough IQ to basically eradicate all of the Middle East. There's nothing they can do about it. And they're banking on that benevolence while telling you all that you're immoral. You're immoral. This is not an atheist argument. Far and away. Well, the argument here is based around what it is that we're discussing. And what are we discussing? Which makes for better societies, right? Christianity or Islam? How can you claim you have better societies, sir, when half of your societies are so inbred, their IQs are like borderline retarded? How could this possibly be of benefit? And you know what they do when they go to other countries? They keep doing it. They keep doing it. Now he says, well, if you value IQ more than all other.
Is it me? Or is he giving him an easy way to just, okay, there's not too much up here that I have to debunk. You know what I'm saying? I need to just debunk one major thing. And then I can hit Drew with anything and everything that I need to hit him with or whatever my argument is. But only thing, the first thing, the major thing, and the last thing you need to debunk is that we don't... hold on. That we are not having sexual relations with our first cousins. I think that should be, after this part, that should be like my first easy argument, whatever it is. Make sure I stick to that point because that's like the main thing he's sticking at. He's driving into the audience. That's the main thing I keep hearing as a person debating. Okay, let's. I'm hoping my boy over here is going to come with something that's meaningful, that says no, we don't do that in the Islam community.
He's not going to though, because in their religion, the dude from the Islamic community are okay with marriage between first cousins by their like religious beliefs. That's why Andrew's going for it, because like they honestly believe that's okay, and they have no way to like defend that because it's fully stated that they're okay with it. And it's very wrong, not only morally, but in a actual societal standpoint, because it creates a deficit in intelligence, which intelligence is needed to advance society, which we can all agree advancing society creates a better society, right? And we are looking at which create a better society. Would it benefit, to have a lower IQ over generations and generations as it continues to recede as the inbred continues, or would you be more beneficial to have IQs increase as your generations continue?
Increase.
Exactly. And that's exactly what Andrew's fighting for. He's just doing it so aggressively that he loses people at times. He doesn't understand how to stay calm and do it that way. He handles it in an aggressive manner because it gets him views, which I completely understand.
Well, I don't think this is aggressive. I just think this is sticking to the main point.
Him yelling,
him
yelling first cousin fucker and incest and all that. He could say that calmly. He don't have to scream it into the mic. He don't have to say everything loud and aggressive, but he does it for a show. It's a role he's playing.
Oh, that part. Well, yeah, I don't know. Think about this, MJ, and I get where you're coming from, but if I'm 40 minutes of conversating, I might end up yelling too after a while.
Look, I don't know how to explain it to people. So this is the way I tell people. From being 17 and working front counter at fast food, all the way through working different types of retail, warehouse, factory, managing areas, and going back to fast food and keeping fast food through most of those other jobs as well, I've learned to continue holding my cool when talking to people, even when I know that they're not going to budge or give, because eventually they're going to go back and they're going to play it over in their head. As human beings, we go over the situation. We think to ourselves, did I handle that right? Most human beings that have some sort of emotional ability to they do that because we want to do better in life. As human beings, we want to handle things properly for ourselves. So as they go back through and think about it, you're going to think, did I handle this right? Did I handle this wrong? 90% of the time when I get done with an argument, I have people call and tell me I'm sorry because they didn't handle it the right way. They were too aggressive. They threatened. They did this or that, the next thing, instead of just talking back and forth, coming to an understanding. They were trying to win. People need to start trying to come to an understanding rather than trying to win. You're good. Go ahead and play it, brother.
No, I'll just wait till you end. Just getting ready.
Values. Who said anything about that? The debate is not about that. It's about which makes for better societies. Now, which society would you rather live in? Would you rather live in a society of donkey pull cart? Right? Donkey pull cart? Because we're not smart enough to make art, not smart enough to even have infrastructure because we're at 70 IQ, 80 IQ, borderline retarded individuals. That's a society. Who's moving there? Who's moving? Nobody. They're all moving here. Why? Because they want the societies that Christians have. By the way, let me point a couple other things out. No, Christians are not stupid. Yes, their IQs are much higher, much, much higher. Even in non-white areas, they're much higher, sir, because they don't inbreed. And it's very frowned upon. Go figure. And interestingly enough, let me just point this out, that Christians have a much smarter enemy. Much smarter enemy. You're right. They do have a high IQ. You need high IQ people to combat that with these values. Islam can make no inroads. They don't have the technology. They can't mount an invasion. They can't even make a fucking power plant. Right? How are they going to do that? Daniel, what's your big plan? His big plan is to bank on the fact that there's enough suicidal empathy in the West to keep on importing Muslims. That's about it. That's it. That could be his only plan. These people can't make armies. That requires massive organization and mobilization. You think that these people could ever attack the West? That's a laughable prospect. He started with Zionism. He has 10 million Jews in his backyard. They can't do shit about it. Nothing. 1 billion versus 10 million, they can't do anything. They launched their entire missile payload. It does nothing because of the IQ difference in these regions. The IQ difference is so wide that if they even tried to collectivize, it would still be.
I would have reached over there and had to fight you. Bro, you ain't finna throw out no little number talking about.
You see the little chuckles? You see the little chuckles he be giving out because he doesn't know what to say, and so he's just doing the little ha. The little Islamic. Like, oh my god, bro! He's like, fuck it. What am I gonna do here?
Bro, you're not finna hit me with. Man, I gotta put up the CCs on that one, dog. I gotta hear that again. That was funny. Bro, no, that's too funny. I'll go back one more second.
Requires massive organization and mobilization. You think that these people could ever attack the West? That's a laughable prospect. He started with Zionism. He has 10 million Jews in his backyard. They can't do shit about it. Nothing. 1 billion versus 10 million, they can't do anything. They launched their entire missile payload. It does nothing because of the IQ difference in these regions.
Bro, you was not finna do me like that, Hobie. Like, nah, them fighting words, my guy.
Let's be honest. You see the way the dude's dressed? He ain't fighting nobody.
He ain't, but man, like, them fighting words, like.
Oh, 100%.
I'm like, man, we the best country in the world, nigga. Who the fuck? Hey, when do you talk back? I don't even want to hear him talk no more. Okay. It's almost over, though. Because I'm about to sit up here and cry loud.
The IQ difference is so wide that if they even tried to collectivize, it would still be done, and they know it. And they can't collectivize anyway because it requires a high enough IQ to follow orders. Okay? So that's my argument. My argument basically is very simple. You have to have a high enough IQ to have a society to begin with. Christians make it by lowering everywhere they go You fucking your family members. My God. Back to you, Daniel.
With that, we have 60 minutes of open dialogue, though the open dialogue is broken into 90-second segments just to be sure there's no interruptions.
When you have the perfect response in your head, but your fingers just can't
Push
hit it. We've all been there. Typing, deleting, retyping.
90 seconds.
Sure. So he said that I didn't address his argument that Muslims rely on Christian benevolence because Christians have such high IQ that they could just technologically eliminate Muslims whenever they wanted. Well,
Yeah, he dodged it again. He's trying to go after the IQ thing again. We've kind of knew this was going to happen. He's going to just go for the IQ argument every time, even though he's talking about the Muslims fucking their own family members and breeding.
Dude, he just said it's 1 billion of you people. You can't even move 1 million, 10 million people.
Yeah.
And you... Good night, folks. Man, stop playing. Stop. No, we is not finna do this tonight.
Christians are at the
I want to hear this one more time. Make sure I heard you start off your argument correctly.
Your first 90 seconds.
Sure. So he said that I didn't address his argument that Muslims.
No, his main argument is that you're spinning and bending each other. You got a big country. You can't move nobody. Your missiles barely touch sand, and y'all live in sand. You see how I addressed the argument? I'm addressing it. I don't know what to say back to that to help you, but I'm addressing the argument. That's addressing the argument.
Rely on Christian benevolence because Christians have such high IQ that they could just technologically eliminate Muslims whenever they wanted. Well, Christians are at the mercy of atheists. Christians are at the mercy of higher IQ atheists. Christians are at the mercy of higher IQ Ashkenazi Jews. Christians are at the mercy of China and Asia. If you want to make a might makes right argument, then we're in the same boat, buddy. Muslims and Christians are closer together in the same boat compared to these other groups. So this is a self-defeating argument. Also, AI is going to eliminate this so-called advantage of IQ. AI is making it irrelevant. I don't know why you're laughing. AI is going to eliminate a biological IQ difference between different races.
What? You still have to have the ability to process and think to form questions of a high degree in order to use AI to a high caliber. And this motherfucker is talking about, oh, it's going to completely eliminate IQ difference. Let's completely ignore the fact that IQ also goes into your motor functions and your ability for, depth perception, hand-eye coordination, and everything else.
What do Satanists are? People don't.
Atheists?
I can't even ask the question because it's like, how do they threaten us for an IQ level? How do they threaten Christians?
His argument is because there is higher IQ atheists that, if you didn't know, there are studies that have gone through, done plenty of them. The average IQ of the atheist is a little higher than that of a Christian. I don't know exactly the whole behind it because I haven't looked into the study yet, but I do know what they're talking about. Just need to look into it myself. But it's still one of those, like, I don't really like getting to the whole religion thing. People are either smart or they're dumb. Like, religion, cool, it is what it is. But like, people are people. That's why Darwinism's always been a thing, even before books.
Yeah, okay, Doc. But in a sense of thinking, and for as this argument right here, for as this argument going right here, because I know you're not gonna answer this question. That's why I'm thinking, like, how can I phrase this to where you can answer this damn question?
I'll say, if you phrase it, however, if I need to, I can always ask questions to clarify, perspective before I answer.
Okay, for the sake of this argument, on the sake of this debate right here, so people see what we're talking about, these guys right here, just for the sake of it, at IQ wiping out the lower species, who you think is gonna last, and who you think will get wiped out? You know, there's still gonna be people in the middle. I get it, but who's gonna be the one at the top, and who's gonna be the one to get wiped out? I know that's a very hard question to answer. That's why I try to think of a better way to ask you.
So you're saying basically out of the highest of the high IQ or the lowest of the low IQ, who would come out of like? Are you talking about who would annihilate? I'm confused. My bad. I guess I don't understand the question.
Yeah, for its IQ, just for the argument, what they're saying, sake of saying of their argument that we don't watch for I don't know how long. One IQ, because basically the Muslim IQ argument is this: that one IQ is going to end up wiping out one of the religion. One religion is not going to be here in the future. However far down it is, we don't know, and whatever that is. So my question, just for conversation, to think, which religion, because I did say race, which religion would you think would be wiped out? And I know, yet again, I know that's a hard question, but the sake of this argument, biological, you know what the Muslims do, you know what the Christians are up against. Shit, Jews are still getting threats like IQ too, but yet again, they still getting bombed.
Well, there's a lot, so I'm trying to figure out, are we talking about just the main 5 types of religion? So Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islamic, and
when I looked at, when I did what's it called it gave me a vast number, but it was like, I think it was like, did it say 27 or some shit? I forgot what number. I did have Ask Gemini.
It says there's 12 classical ones: so Christianity, Islamic, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Judaism, Baha'i faith, Jainism, Shinto, Taoism, Confucianism, and Zoroastrianism. I probably mispronounced the hell out of those, and I apologize if I offended anybody by the way I pronounce those. I am fucking god awful at reading things. Sometimes I'm good at saying things if I hear them from somebody who properly knows how to pronounce things, but if I've never heard them pronounced by somebody who legitimately knows them, I'm not gonna know how to pronounce them. I mean, if it comes down to it and they're going to get wiped out, you would have to obviously start with like the non-violent ones, right? Because like you can't wipe anybody else out, but you can be wiped out if you're non-violent, right?
Yeah.
So that limits you down to like Jainism. I guess that's the only like really non-violent, right? The rest of them will fight if they have to. But, like that's the only one that's like quite literally non-violent, I believe.
No, it's a couple of them are non-violent.
Are they?
I don't know offhand, but I just best believe. But yet again, okay, so
Not condoning violence is completely different than saying they are completely non-violent. Like they are pacifist, absolute. Does that make sense?
yeah.
That's why I was trying to think. I'm not entirely sure if they are complete pacifist or if there's others that are.
These will be good for you too. I forgot about these.
I do have tomorrow off, by the way, brother.
And they show just redid my schedule.
Yeah, and I gotta go. I gotta go early on Monday, so I'll probably have to not do too late of a night when it comes to Goodnight Kapeash tomorrow. So I'll let you know, like depending on what time. I don't know if you got to work tomorrow or anything.
I got to work at 4. I'm off Monday.
Okay.
Then I work Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, they gonna make sure. Hey, they gonna make sure I do this New Year's overnight shit. They is not playing.
They said we need that ass in here, boy.
Oh shit. Let me shut up. They gave me some more days.
Fuck yeah,
Hey man,
take
my
that
boss.
shit.
I told you, bro. I showed my boss, boy, like, look, stop playing.
Right, need my ass in there working. You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Kelly. Let me not say that.
Yeah,
that's the wrong way. But when it comes to selling, I'm
hustle the shit out these motherfuckers.
It's not even hustling. It's just like I really like customers. Like I really like,
get you.
Like you say, I'm a social butterfly. Yeah.
I get you. I will say I'm probably going to be going to bed, mama. Yeah, my brother, because I'm tired.
It's an hour. That's all I expect to do out of here. Hour and a half. It's okay.
That's what I figured, brother. I just wanted to say something because I looked at what time it was, and
yes, sir. I got another meeting to go to in a minute. Yeah, in 15 minutes anyway.
Cool. Sounds like a pan. Are you doing an earlier show tomorrow?
What you talking about? A regular day?
Yeah.
A regular. Yeah.
Shoot me a message when you're about to do that. Like obviously beforehand, so I can get myself prepared. All right, brother.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anytime that you're watching this, this is the Goodnight Kapeash. We out. Peace.